You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
We're back. Our guests are both educators. LaChawn Smith is principal of Sunset Elementary, and Dr. Dorothy DeShields is former principal, educator, and a member of the New Hanover County School Board. We're talking about education, minorities, and we're going to talk about the redistricting issue, which has been a very emotional, divisive, controversial issue in New Hanover County. LaChawn, let me ask you about this study that the governor cited, that 2/3 of community college applicants don't have the basics in skills they should have learned in high school: algebra, English, comp, and others, and pointed out that those students are not ready for the job market or adequately prepared for community college. As an educator, what's your perception of that?
Well, I think that is part of the issue, and I think that some of that comes from the fact that many of our high school students who are involved in AP courses and advanced classes are actually entering college before they graduate high school. So they're taking some of their college work while they're still in high schools. And then also we have children who are now in the early college programs who are not coming into the community colleges, whereas years before they would. So what happens is you have more children who historically would not have entered community colleges entering community colleges, and those children may have some of those skill deficits. But it is definitely something that we're addressing in our high schools and working to ensure that those children as well are prepared for the community college setting.
Let's talk about another elephant in the room, the whole redistricting issue. Actually, it's been discussed pretty extensively. There's a sharp divide in the community about the goals of redistricting. It's the neighborhood school concept versus the approach of promoting economic diversity in schools through redistricting. What do you know the mix racially and economically at Sunset?
I do, and we are very much a majority school, and we have a free and reduced lunch population of about 90 to 91%.
Can you identify students who are, as a principal, who are at risk for achievement? I mean, can you identify that? Or
do I know who those children are in my building? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You do.
And we give a lot of time and a lot of attention to the needs of those students. And it is a greater challenge for us because we do have more than maybe some other schools who do not have some of the challenges that we have at our school.
Dorothy, the whole issue's gone back and forth. It's been discussed, it's been voted on, it's been re-examined, it's been changed, it's been tweaked, and there's still really no consensus. How do you think it is going to finally play out?
Let me go back to something you said. The purpose of redistricting is to lower the student population in the middle schools. When we get into it, we always get into that divide that you mentioned.
But the real purpose is for equal distribution, so that the schools, one isn't too crowded and one isn't. Okay.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And we have probably gone backwards in that because of that divide between the parents who want neighborhood schools and that balance that some of us think we need in the schools. For an example, Noble is an overcrowded school presently. And when we redistricted some of those students to other schools where parents are complaining, they'd rather have trailers than to send their children to a new school.
And what the reason being?
They give the reason
proximity of to the home,
the distance that the students have to travel.
Do you buy that?
No, because there's no research that I can find that says that student achievement drops when children are bused to schools. There is research that shows that when you overload a school or when you develop high poverty schools, that the student achievement of all students drop.
Is this issue a mask for racism?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way to satisfy everyone? Or
No, you can't possibly
no.
satisfy everyone. So what the board needs to do is to look at what's best for all children.
How big an issue do you think redistricting will be in the upcoming school board election, where 4 of the 7 seats are up for grabs? Is that going to be a major battle?
It is always a major battle.
And a major issue?
Yes, always.
Do you think it'll be a barometer on where the voters stand on the issue?
You know, I think that the majority of the people in our community are interested in all children achieving very well. I think they're interested in all schools being great schools. Now, however that's going to play out, I don't know. But when you look at candidates, you know, even myself, I usually will go for schools that are balanced. I'm not against neighborhood schools. I think in an ideal world, every child could go to a school close to home for all the obvious reasons. Parents could get to school easier, children could walk and ride their bicycles. But within New Hanover County, when you talk about neighborhood schools, you talk about segregated schools because of the housing patterns.
What's your take on the surprise, and LaChawn, I'm sorry to leave you out of
No, you're
this.
fine.
Well, what's your take on the surprise retirement announced by Superintendent of Schools Al Lurch, who had a contract extension through 2012, I believe? What was your take on that?
Well, I always say that a person knows when it's time to retire.
What kind of job do you think he was doing?
I liked Dr. Lurch. He is a wonderful person, and he has worked very hard for the school system.
What will you be looking for in the search for a new superintendent?
I'd like to see a person come in who has experience improving student achievement, working with parents, the community, including everybody to make schools the best that they can be.
Thank you for being here today. Dr. Dorothy DeShields. LaChawn Smith, Principal of Sunset Elementary, thank you too. Be sure to join us next week. Jonathan Barfield will be here. We're going to talk about the ABCs, the ABC controversy, and all that surrounds it, and some other issues concerning New Hanover County. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. I'm Don Ansell for Byline Wilmington.
CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.